I don't have it in my ears.
Godfather, HR3, come to the studio, please. It's time to go live.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, this is TGD Today. And now please welcome Hero III,
HR3,
Al Cloyd,
Dr. Grind,
George Honeycutt,
The Godfather.
Haha, we fooled you again. TGD Radio, TGD TV. This is TGD Today.
That's right.
And we are doing Pro Golf Talk Live without HR3.
Without. That's right.
That's all right. He keeps missing. We're going to have to fire his ass.
There you go. You can't beat it. You can't beat it.
Well, we miss him, but
Big time.
we're going to talk a little pro stuff.
Sounds great.
And there is a tournament going on this week, folks. It is being brought to you by the European Tour, but it might as well be a major. WGC HSBC champions at Shenzhen International Golf Course in Shenzhen, China. This is the big dog tournament. 78 players, no cut, and there's about 25 PGA Tour USA players that are there. And the names are all the ones that you expect to see at the top of a leaderboard, and it is going to be a lot of fun. Right now, it is 3 minutes after midnight in Shanghai, China. And, of course, our time here is in the morning, 11 o'clock or so in the morning. So they are exactly 13 hours ahead of us. And starting tonight at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time is the coverage of this tournament.
Interesting.
And so where you're going to see it on Wednesday night again because of the time difference.
Right.
So be sure to check this out because some of these names and some of these pairings that you're going to see is going to be very, very entertaining. Let me just give you a few. Going off at 9:35 a.m. off of hole number 10, Sergio Garcia, Adam Scott, Ricky Fowler. Is that not a threesome?
That's going to be fun to watch.
Is that not going to be a blast?
Yep.
Starting off right before them on number 10, Graham McDowell, Billy Horschel, Patrick Reed.
Yep.
Number 5 in the world going against the real number 5 in the world, and the other probably should be number 5 in the world. That's going to be a good pairing.
Bunch of fives.
Just before them, at 9:15 going off of number 10, Ian Poulter, Hunter Mahan, and Hideki Matsuyama. That is a good pairing.
Yep.
Right before them, I mean, it gets better and better. Luke Donald, Stephen Gallagher, and Jason Duffner. Duffer is back. Before them, at 8:45, going off of 10, Miguel Angel Jimenez. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Lee Westwood, Tunjai Jaidi, and Miko Ilun. That's a good group. And then down at the bottom, I got to cover these dudes. After Sergio Garcia, I mean, it's like they pounded number 10 tee box with names. Gary Woodland, Mark Leishman, Ryan Palmer, then Yal Slutin, Thomas Bjorn, and Bill Haas. Then Victor Dubuisson, Jamie Donaldson, Chris Kirk. I mean, these names just keep getting better. Ernie Els, Marcel Seam, who just won, and Ryan Moore, who just won.
Yep.
Martin Keimer, Jimmy Walker, and Jordan Spieth. I mean, are these groups just awesome or what?
It is. It really, really
And
is.
then finishing up, or actually the last group to go off, number 10, starting tonight, folks, again, starting tonight if you're in the USA, Henrik Stenson, Justin Rose, and Bubba Watson. I mean, these are some pairings that you couldn't wait.
Yep.
You could put this on your Christmas list and just
Right.
hope that Santa filled half of them.
Exactly.
I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a great tournament. It's these guys love playing this golf course. That's why they all show up. And again, for many of them, the 25 or so U.S. players, it's a long haul.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt about it. And a big cultural change, too, when you get over there.
Yeah, time change, cultural change,
Food. Yeah.
climate.
Oh, yeah.
Climate. It's, I hope that they get some drier conditions. We've seen a lot of golf from China and from Thailand and Taiwan and in Malaysia over the last several weeks, and it's just been wet. It's been wet. It's been wet. And so I'm hoping that everything dries out a little bit, and these guys can actually go at some greens and some pins and, and have to deal with some dry conditions.
Exactly.
So, but, I mean, the names that are in this thing, Brant Snedeker's playing. He's going off with John Sinden off of number 1. Thorborn Olsen, Alexander Levy, Matt Avery, Sean Lowry, Kevin Stadler, Matt Jones, Tommy Fleetwood, Russell Henley, Tim Clark, Mark Warren, Arabian Lahari, J.B. Holmes. I mean, the numbers.
It's a lot of plane tickets.
A lot of plane tickets, but the names. I mean,
Yeah, that's what it-
who's
yeah.
playing in this thing?
Yeah.
It's Philippe Aguilar is playing with Louis Oosthuizen and Graham Dillette. Is that going to be a pairing? I mean, that's just, you got Louis Oosthuizen that's going to be about 804 yards behind the other two every hole. But yet Louis will go out there and shoot his little 66 and smile and wave at the crowd as he's leaving. Just thank you very much. Appreciate you coming out.
Yep.
So Pablo Larrazabal is playing with George Kotze and Moo Hoo. Moo Hoo? What'd you call me?
I didn't do that.
Okay. Was that you or no? Okay.
No.
You look at these pairings and it just blows you away. Kevin Strillman's playing with Miguel Angel Jimenez. Okay, there's two absolutely diverse personalities, people. Just you got to wonder if there's going to be are they going to even say a word? Well, Miguel is going to go out there and he's going to, I like my wine. I like my cigars. Does my ponytail look good today?
Right.
He's going to be giving it to him. And Kevin Strillman's just going to be out there going, okay, that's 340. That one went 325. That one went 331. And he's going to be asking, hey, Miguel, how you like that new parking lot they built at Walmart between my ball and yours?
That's right. Is it a super wall mark or just a regular Walmart?
Just a regular Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So Miguel can still pump it out there. So a lot of fun's going to be happening on the European Tour. Again, the WGC, this is their last event in the WGC series. The WGC HSBC Champions in Shenzhen International Golf Course in Shanghai. Basically, it's in the province of Shanghai, China. A 78 play. There is no cut in this, folks. So don't expect, though there's going to be some low scores here, but nobody goes home empty-handed.
Right.
So there is money being handed out to all the players that show up for this thing. And that's got a lot to do with the turnout and the names that are up here.
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt about it. If they know they're going to at least get a check for finishing last, maybe that pays for the airfare and the caddy and things like that. So
I'm with you.
I like the situation. I like the way it's set up, and I wish we could see more of this during the given year. But so again, that's really our topic of focus for the weekend, and we're excited about that. But the ladies are at the Mizuno Classic, and they are in Mie, Japan, and this is $1.2 million that is up for grabs here. And this tournament started in 1973, folks, so it's been around freaking forever. But they are at the Kashikiro Jima Country Club. That's easy for me to say. And again, this is the leading up to their tournament series championship. They play in Japan this week. Then, as I mentioned Monday, they go to Mexico, and then they finish up in Naples, Florida. So we're coming down to the end now.
Yes.
And it's going to be basically, it looks like almost a... what's a female horse? A gelding? Is that right?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, maybe our other Tennessee brother.
She's a mare.
A mare. Thank you very much.
The gelding one is the male who's lost his
Lost his kahunas?
Testicular.
Yeah, testicular. So a mare. It's turned out to be a 2-mare race
I'm one of those.
for the CME Globe. Are you a mare?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're not a gelding?
Or gelding.
I lost my geldings years ago.
I lost my geldings years ago, too.
The ex-wife's got it.
Yeah.
So let's see if Teresa Liu
Both of
repeats
them.
as a defending. Teresa Liu wins in 2013 at 14 under par, and it was cut off short. They only got 3 rounds in due to weather last year, so she shoots 70, 68, 64 to finish at 202, 14 under par to win the event. Interestingly, one of the ladies that's in the running right now, she's number 2 in the world, CME Globe, and that is Stacy Lewis. She wins in 2012, again, another rain-shortened event. In 2011, it was also rain-shortened. So, again, this tournament for them, it's turned out to be a 3-day event, basically, so you better go low. And But, again, Stacy Lewis, MB Park, Shen Shen Fang, they are all just kind of in there in the running for the championship and that $1 million check that's coming at the end of the year.
Nice.
And it's good to see the LPGA Tour capture that $1 million threshold for their Globe champion.
Yep. I remember when NASCAR, when the first, with Wild Bill, with $1 million bill, when he, cracked that
right
threshold. That's big in any sport. When you can get to that point is massive.
Yeah, it was.
And it'll be marked. Yep.
Yeah, it was. It really set a new precedence for NASCAR, and it now that $1 million mark has set a precedence for. I mean, we just saw it last week in Sea Island.
Yes.
This was the first year. The tournament's 5 years old, but this was the first year that the winner received $1 million.
Right.
And they got $1,008,000. That was the winner's check.
Nice.
So that was huge for the tournament coordinators and the foundation, Davis Love III Foundation, and for them to be able to achieve that monetary amount.
It's big.
So, it's huge.
Huge. Yeah.
Because all the other tour stops now have reached that $1 million mark.
Right.
And so for Sea Island to prove its worthiness and justification, they needed to get to that payout of $1 million, and they've done it now. So congratulations to them. And now we see the LPGA getting up there in that monetary threshold of $1 million, and which was unheard of 10 years ago.
Exactly.
I mean, if they got $100,000, they were happy.
Oh, yeah.
So, but now they're up to the $1 million. Interestingly, Al, I don't know if you knew this or not, but this tournament was actually won 5 times and 5 times in a row by Annikas Record.
I was just thinking about her earlier in the program, on just how dominating, she was. We got really, really lucky to watch her in the time that she was playing. And, still I'll go back and, look at her swing in slow motion because, in my opinion, it's probably one of the best swings ever.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. No doubt about it. As far as the uniformity of her body with her arms, with her hands, with the club.
And where her body comes up with the club instead of staying down. It's kind of a little bit of a Duval kind of a swing. Yeah, you expect to see her head turn out of it, but it didn't. Yep.
Where Duval did turn his head out of it.
You got it.
And so you're exactly right. She just had it. She had it all together, dude, and that's why she's a Hall of Famer. But
and very nice person.
Yeah,
she's
interestingly,
nice
she wins 2001 at 13 under, 2002 at 15 under, 2003 at 24 under, 2005, 2004 at 22 under, and then 2005 at 21 under. Those are some massive numbers.
Yep.
And they haven't seen those numbers since her last win there. Kerry Webb won in 2006 at 14 under, a dramatic difference. And then since then, the lowest it's been 18 under was Jia Xing, and she shot 18 under. So, again, Annika just kind of set the precedence to say, okay, let's see who else can go out and win it 5 times in a row.
Exactly. It may not never.
Oh, it won't never happen again.
No
way. And again, it's like the PGA Tour. Do you see the Byron Nelsons and the Ben Hogans, and do you see the 11 wins in a row or 17 wins in a season? And this, you'll never see that again.
No, the Tiger Woods is.
Yeah, you'll never see it again. So again, they're there. Also, too, I wanted to bring up on Pro Golf Talk Live. we were going to have one Mr. Patrick Lundy in the studios today, and Patrick ended up having to attend a last-minute meeting. But Patrick is currently on the quest of obtaining his web.com tour card.
That's correct.
And Patrick is a local boy from Little River.
Yes, sir.
And Patrick we run into him all the time. And recently, Patrick has worked out an arrangement with a local golf course. And Al, I'll let you talk a little bit about that.
No problem at all. Well, we're really happy to have him at Possum Trot. He's gonna be our playing professional. So basically, he gets there in the morning. He hits balls. He'll hit till about lunch. Grab a bite to eat. Then he'll come back, go out and play 18 holes, and then he'll usually hitting balls and chipping until it's dark, till he can't see anymore.
Right.
But what the relationship is involved is he's going to be wearing our Possum Trot hats. Possum Trot shirts. We're going to get a Possum Trot logo on his bag, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, that'd be good.
So he's going to, and so he'll be representing Possum Trot.
Now, is he going to get one of the possum head covers that are down at Possum Trot?
I got to get him one.
You got to get him a possum head cover.
He's going to have one.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Without a doubt, dude.
Yep, without a doubt.
Because he's going to be on TV for Stage 2.
Yep.
Which is coming up down at the Hombre golf course, which is just outside of Jacksonville, St. Augustine, whatever you want to. That area down there.
Yes, sir.
And but Hombre, the fairways folks at Hombre Golf Course in Florida, the fairways are about 8.5 feet wide, and if you add the rough, you get 12 feet. So it's not a long course, but I'm telling you what, dude, you got to thread the needle on every hole.
Target golf.
I was talking to Patrick about that, and he has really a good mindset. Again, he's going to go down for some practice rounds and things of that sort. He's going to play in a couple of events. He literally, if I remember right, he goes down on the 15th or the 14th of November, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And but between that, he's got one or two events. He's just going to keep the competitive edge, kind of honed.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And but then he's going to show up down there, and he told me in a conversation I had with him earlier in the week that he's just focusing on his long irons off the box. Mm-hmm. Okay, folks, did you notice? The guy can hit a driver easily 300 every time.
Yeah.
He's
actually gaining distance.
He's
now.
a 290,
Yeah.
295 carried player. No doubt about it. He's not one of the longer guys, but he's also not one of the biggest guys on the tour.
That's correct.
But he's consistent. He's a fairway splicer.
Yep.
No doubt about it. But for him to already have the mindset, he said, George, I know I've got to go and use my longer irons. I've got to keep it in the short grass because some of those fairways are literally 13, 14 yards wide.
That's correct.
And he goes, I don't want to go messing with that heavy Bermuda rough. I don't want to go hitting those bunkers in the fairway. And he goes, the greens are smaller. It's an older course.
Yep.
So he goes, I'm going to have to make sure that I'm creating enough spin that I can get it to set in there in my 10 to 12 foot range so I can start making some birdies.
Definitely.
Great mentality.
Yep.
Stage 2, Q
Yep.
School, web.com tour. If he makes it through the cut, he does get exempted status of some sort.
Right. Okay.
If he makes the finals, if he makes it through Stage 2, going into the final Q School, he gets a little bit better status. And then if he makes it through the final Stage 3 of Q School, then he gets his full card.
Right.
And that's what
he's
we're all
been
hoping
working
for.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're all hoping for.
Exactly.
And you couldn't ask for a nicer kid.
No.
I call him a kid. He's early, mid-20s. But considering I'm 112, that makes him a kid. And so you couldn't ask for a nicer guy. We will have him in the studio here.
Definitely.
We will give you updates on Patrick Lundy. Again, his name, Patrick Lundy. Look for him. He's on you see his score in Stage 1 where he made it. And, again, we're going to be following him closely during his next stage. And then, of course, as he makes it past that, going into the final Q School.
Yeah,
So
I can't wait. I mean, I really can't wait.
well, we wish him the best of luck. And, of course, we follow him like we do all of our children, whether that's one of Hugh's kids or one of our kids or whatever. So Patrick's just part of the family, and
He's
we
like a
appreciate
brother,
that.
yep.
So we look forward to having him in for interviews. And actually, he has promised to call in and give us updates almost daily from Stage 2 of the web.com tour school. So
Definitely.
that'll be a lot of fun.
And then one real quick one just on our local guys. I'd like to go ahead and congratulate Jason Perry. He's a good friend of mine. I do all his club work for him. He won at Heather Glen. Let's see here, a player battling windy conditions at Heather Glen, with Jason Perry winning at 144 even par. So they had some really rough
was nasty
conditions.
weather,
It was
dude.
nasty weather.
Saturday, I mean, we played in it, as you know, and 90% of our group quit. And just because it was so nasty. So.
Definitely. So I just want to
Congratulations.
send a shout out to Jason. He's a great guy, hard worker, and so glad to see him. And he's got a little age on him. You know what I mean? So it's kind of nice to see one of the older ones go out and
good to see him pick up a check.
Good to see him pick up a check. This guy's a hard worker. He's going to Ori Georgetown Tech, studying HVAC.
Oh, great.
So I mean, he's just a
Blue-collar guy.
hard blue collar, hard worker, and he's the kind of guy you could call him at 10 o'clock at night and say I need help with something, he'll be there.
Well,
I mean, he's just a really really good guy, and I'm glad to see this.
You
for
call
him.
me at 10 o'clock, you're going to hear nothing but snoring, dude.
That's
Yeah, there you go. All right, also the PGA Tour is active this week. They are going to be at the Sanderson Farms Classic in Jackson, Mississippi, so be sure to keep your eye on that. And what you're going to see is you're going to see all those guys that just came up from the Web.com Tour into the new season on the PGA Tour looking for their first tour victory. Yep. There's a lot of names out there that are looking for that first win so they can get their exemption, they can get their status up, they can get their invite to Augusta. There's so many things that comes along with that, the invite to the TPC, to the Players' Championship, and on and on and on. So, again, this week, the Sanderson Farms in Jackson, Mississippi is going to be kind of like that second-tier tournament, although it's a PGA Tour stop, it's a PGA Tour site. It's going to be kind of secondly followed compared to the WGC HSBC from China. But pay close attention. You're going to see some really good numbers and some really good players up and coming that are trying to make a name for themselves. So that'll be a lot of fun. Definitely. One last thing I'd like to mention, Jeff, before we go off the air. It was announced this week that Mr. George O'Grady is retiring from the European Tour. And Mr. O'Grady has been the chief executive officer for the European Tour for the last several years. However, he has worked as an employee. He has held some function of one way or the other with the European Tour for 40 years. So I would like to thank Mr. O'Grady for all of his commitment to the game, to the industry, to the European Tour. It is because of him that the European Tour has solid legs underneath it, has good financial stability, has just continued to grow their corporate partnerships all around the world. And they have reached into all the sectors now of Asia, all the way through United Arab Emirates, their work in Europe, of course, in South America. And so I want to congratulate Mr. O'Grady. He is going to stay on as the chief executive officer for the European Tour until a replacement is found, at which time he will then continue to work and make sure the transition is smooth. So my hat's off and thanks so much to Mr. George O'Grady for his 40 years of work with the European Tour.
Yes, sir.
On behalf of thegolfdirector.com. Okay, Al, I think that's pretty much got it all covered. And let me do the readout here. Don't try not to fall asleep.
You got it.
TGD Radio and TGD TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. Of course, if you visit the Golf Director site, be sure to navigate over to our featured golf course pages. You're going to find a lot of up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much, much more. Need help with your golf vacation? Just give us a call here at thegolfdirector.com. You can reach us at 844-GO-GOLF-1. That's 844-464-6531. Just ask for Dave.
Just ask for Dave. That's
All
right.
of our TGD programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on any show that you may have missed, click on the TGD Radio tab or the TGD TV tabs in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com, and you can pull those shows up. This is George Honeycutt, of course, for Mr. Al Cloyd, Dr. Grind, and our producers. We thank you for tuning in. We'll be coming to you very, very soon with more TGD golf news and information.